Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make a fantastic cauliflower cheese and a cauliflower cheese pie. So, as I show you how, please sit back, relax with a cup of tea in hand, putting those feet of yours up to, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Cauliflower cheese is a dish that consists of cauliflower smothered in a rich cheese sauce before being baked until bubbly, brown, and aromatic. And in this episode, we'll share our recipe with the added bonus of teaching you how to make a pie variant. Step by step, you'll be walked through the dish's preparation before we crown everything off as per usual with a session of tasting at the end. So now, with the introductions made and your interest peaking, please allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's Brilliantly British cauliflower cheese and cauliflower cheese pie, you will need some cheese, some mustard powder, some fresh garlic, some bay leaves, some full-fat milk, some homemade breadcrumbs ideally, some dry or fresh parsley, some butter, some plain white flour, and of course the star of these dishes, some fresh cauliflower, followed by a little pinch or two of salt and pepper to avoid the occurrence of bland food. And that, my friends, is all, yes, all that you will need for today's Brilliantly British episode. But before you get started, before you do anything at all, please switch on your kettle, brew yourselves a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you cook. To begin making a delicious cauliflower cheese, after beginning to preheat your oven in a saucepan over a medium heat with molten butter, cook your cauliflower with salt and a splash of water before covering and allowing to simmer until little to no liquid remains, with the cauliflower just beginning to become tender. With the cauliflower taken care of in a saucepan, to begin preparing the rich cheese sauce, melt yet more butter and in parallel begin to slowly warm milk with bay leaves and peppercorns before adding crushed or finely minced garlic to your molten butter, followed by the incorporation of plain flour. Thereafter, you'll then want to incrementally pour your warm aromatic milk, passing the liquid through a sieve to catch any peppercorns. With all of the milk added and with the mixture just beginning to bubble, turn in your grated cheese while slowly whisking constantly until the contents homogenize, at which point fold in your seasonings in the form of parsley, salt and pepper before recalling your cauliflower to coat it in your cheese sauce. With the cauliflower coated, turn the mixture into your baking dish of choice, coat with breadcrumbs before baking until brown, bubbly and aromatic, akin to the dish on screen now, which, should you stay till the end, you'll find out to be as good as it looks, so stay tuned. For the pie variant, simply prepare the short crust pastry by combining by hand or with a food processor flour and salt at first, followed by cold diced butter to form a sand-like mixture, into which a few tablespoons of water should be added to hydrate and form a cohesive dough that, once turned out, should be kneaded for up to 2 minutes, then rolled out with a third removed and momentarily set aside, proceeding by rolling out the remaining 2/3 until large enough to blanket and be tucked into your pan. Then, with all of the excesses trimmed away, freeze or refrigerate for at least an hour, leaving you with ample time to relax and rehydrate with some Brilliantly British content in hand, making sure, of course, to like and subscribe. Thank you. Before the hour mark arrives, begin preheating your oven before summoning your base, which should be pricked at the bottom and sides, before covering with greaseproof paper, weighed down with rice or baking beans in my case, before baking blind for 15 minutes, after which the beans and paper should be removed before returning the pan to your oven to bake uncovered for a further 15 minutes. Following a second 15-minute period of baking, once recalled from the oven, turn in your pre-made and cooled down cauliflower cheese mixture before topping with a pastry sheet made with the remaining third of pastry dough, which should be egg washed and optionally decorated before finishing with an essential ventilation hole. Then, with the pie baking, use the free time once more to relax with yet more brilliantly British content in hand until your pie is ready to take out of the oven and looks like the thing of beauty on screen now. So now, with 2 variants of cauliflower cheese made and your interest peaking, I think it's high time for tasting. Are you ready? Are you steady? 3, 2, 1. Perfection. That is nostalgic perfection for me. My mother used to make this often, and of course it will never be as good as hers, but this comes quite close. It's rich, pungent, the cheese hits you, there's some mustard coming through, subtle parsley, the creaminess, the richness of it all really does engulf and enhance the lovely, crunchy, yet soft and delicate texture of the cauliflower. And notwithstanding the fact that there's a lovely crunch, there's a lovely crispness to this in the form of breadcrumbs. It's amazing. And of course you could enjoy this on its own, but I'd often have this as a part of a Sunday roast, particularly if there's a nice joint of beef. It goes beautifully with it. And I think this could also be the side with something like a burger. Alternatively, maybe it's a new idea, a new trend. It's fantastic. If you've never had cauliflower cheese before, brilliant. Please. Now for the pie. 3, 2, 1. Oh. It is equally as rich, equally as satisfying as the standard cauliflower cheese, except this time around there's a lot more texture because of the crust. If I was vegetarian, I think this pie would tick all of the boxes in terms of fulfillment and enjoyment. It just has it all, really. The texture from the pastry coupled with the texture coming from the cauliflower, the creamy, rich sauce that's also pungent in mustard, and crucially, there's plenty of cheese flavor coming through. Can't fault it, even if that is my own biased opinion. It is that good. So good. I'd say please, on that note, go out, get the ingredients, make either one of these 2 variants of cauliflower cheese. Neither of them, of course, will disappoint you. Please make these dishes, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to comprehensively make cauliflower cheese. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone, and I mean everyone, that you know about the brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you